They're going, well, time out. That's not going to make my percentages right. And he'll sit there and go, I don't care. It's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out there and you make him look stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really is. Bang for your buck. I mean, how much are they charging for that class?
It's $1,000 for both days driving your own car.
That's what it was last year. Rod McCombs went to that.
Rod McCombs did. And look at how fat. Look at when you talk about an improved driver in the modified division. Rob and Sam Potter too, but Rod McCombs over the course at the end of the year, that guy was one of the top cars. And if you wanted to win, you had to beat him.
He talked to me about all he learned from Kevin Shaw,
Mm-hmm.
and he said it was just a plethora of information. It was
right,
phenomenal.
and how one person absorbs all that information in 2 days. You better
be listening.
And you start talking Kevin Shaw, Larry Shaw's son. What chassis was McCombs in last year?
Right. Yep, he was in a Shaw.
He was in a Schwartz.
Oh, Schwartz. That's what I meant to say. He was in a Schwartz.
He was in a Schwartz. Drager in a GRT.
Right. See, the chassis is something you bolt parts onto.
Exactly.
Once you get the thing dialed in and set up, any chassis can be fast.
Exactly.
It really can.
Every chassis has their strong points and their weak points.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about it in the late model division with the Victory Circles, versus the Rockets versus the Black Diamonds. We've talked about it with the modifieds, but you really come down to the basics of it. This is Kevin Shaw, and he's not pushing his Shaw chassis. He's saying, let me help you become a better driver.
They'll make everything
understand
fast.
your car.
Yeah. So that driving school was April 27th and 28th, which is a Thursday, Friday. Okay. The classroom portion of it is going to be held at the Phoenix Inn right here in Albany, right off of I-5. Perfect for people that are traveling from the north and the south.
And the best part is
it's at the exit.
They have a huge parking lot, so bring your toter, bring your hauler,
yes,
bring your trailer. You don't have to worry about parking. And it's right next door to the state police station, so you know your stuff's going to be safe.
Right, and what's cool about that is Phoenix Inn works with a racetrack. There is a racer rate. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's a pretty good deal. So
it is. They're all about bringing drivers in, bringing people down for our sport.
Yep. So if you do attend and you don't bring a car to drive, you just want to come in and acquire the knowledge. It's $400 for both days. It's $200 a day, but that's money well spent when you're trying to make your program better. $100 is required to register. So they make you can make that commitment. They're going to take $100 at registration, and you can call to register 870-251-2966. Okay, they're going to want $100 at the time you call, but
say that number one more time.
It's 870-251-2966. We'll put that up on Moxie, and we'll talk about we'll put a link up to the Shaw Brooks Driving School. That is a cool deal.
It is.
I mean, I did not hear one person that went to that, and I talked to a lot of those guys that went to that class last year. Everybody was just kind of like, wow.
I believe there were 20 or 21 attendees last year.
Yeah, it was right around the 20 mark.
Yeah.
I was talking with Jeff Hansen about that today, and he was like, you look at the guys that went to this class last year, pretty much all those guys were really fast, and that says a lot about...
You want to get an edge, there it is.
There it is, yeah. And it's early in the season, April 27th and 28th. Our first race is April 15th.
Right.
So right from the get-go, they're going to say, hey, look, we'll make you fast. This is how you do it. For $1,000, I mean, they're coming to your track or they're coming to your area. You can't travel back there and go in their schools for that kind of money. Absolutely not. So
what is isn't it April 7th and 8th for Willamette Speedway hot lapping?
Yes, their first play day or practice.
I think it's not. It's
It's
the week before opening weekend.
It is the 8th.
It's a weekend after the car
show. Or first. It's the first 2 Saturdays of April.
Okay, so it's the 1st and the 8th.
1st and the 8th, I do believe.
Because the first race is the 15th,
yeah.
right?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so the 1st and the 8th is hot laps. Okay.
Yep.
Open hot laps.
Right.
Correct.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
With the weather we've had,
hopefully we get it all out of our system and we end up with some nice weather.
No kidding.
I am sick of this weather.
Oh, geez. It's...
Anyway.
Sick of it. But, the Shaw Brooks Driving School, if you're really serious about making your program better, that is absolutely one way to do it. And this is what's cool about it is those instructors, Kevin Shaw, Wayne Brooks, will take care of you in any type of race car with the exception of a sprint car.
I do not blame them.
You can bring, I'm with you. So you can bring street stocks, late models, modifieds. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as it's not a sprint car. Closed wheels cars is what they say. Modifieds, obviously.
Right. It's halfway there.
Yeah.
Technically.
But, and even when you start talking about setup, sprint cars are a whole different ballgame.
That's a completely different world.
and it takes a special person to set up
Torsion
this sprint
bars and blocking them, and there's a lot of work that goes into.
You want to learn sprint cars and everything else? Ask Roger Crockett.
But yeah, he'll tell you.
I'm going to
show
ask
you.
Corey. He kicked our ass on the machine.
Well, I can't give away all my secrets.
What secret is that?
It's
Windows
secret.
98.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, that thing was hard. That was a hard game.
Says the guy that won.
Dude,
Yeah.
I learned real quick. You barely got to turn that.
Oh,
That wheel
God.
was only 5 inches across, a little tiny thing, but you can't turn that wheel a whole lot on those simulators.
Oh man, I made myself look stupid that day.
Don't feel like the Lone Ranger.
Oh
Man.
man.
Anyway,
Good times,
on.
but the Shaw Brooks Driving School. Hopefully, maybe we can get the Moxie guys to. Maybe we can sneak in or something. We'll talk to Jeff Hansen to see if we can't come in through the back
let's just
door.
talk to Kevin Shaw and say, hey, we want to
No.
cover. We want to cover this
No.
event.
Those are the guys getting paid.
I know.
Hey, there are ways around everything.
Maybe
We've got to do a sound check at the announcer's booth, right?
we do. There's our in right there.
There we go.
Yeah, I love it.
Announce their
No,
school.
Kevin, if you're listening, we seriously have to do a sound check for the Iron Giant series.
It's
On that
really
day.
it's mandatory,
It is.
and maybe we can get out there and kind of work with them on the timing clocks, and it all works out for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do what we do. We have fun with it.
that's just how it goes. But man, it's kind of quiet tonight on the Swears Trucking chat line.
I know what's going on here.
I don't know. I don't know if people are just depressed because of all the rain, and they're just working on their race cars because the season's almost here.
I'm going to bet on the depressed over the rain.
I'm gonna go with you.
And it's weird today.
There are guys scrambling to get their cars done for the car show.
Yes, I know.
We just got a picture of one not long ago that is supposed to be here. Good looking car.
Yeah, I will admit that car. I am normally a fan of that color scheme, but not on a race car.
That is, well, it's so, I want to say, it's done right. Very minute touches to make that.
It's tasteful.
Yeah.
It's very tasteful.
Looks
And-
very good. Night
and-
car. They said it's going to be here, and we can't say who it's going to be.
Why can't we say who it's going to be?
And I'll tell you what, that's going to be a different color scheme for that driver.
Totally different.
For as long as I've known that driver, he's always had the same color scheme.
Yep. And I think
Not
he's
no
stepping
more.
outside the box, and
Moving up.
yep, it's going to be fun because I know a couple of things that are happening here that nobody else does.
Well,
Aren't you just
aren't you
special?
You guys are going to be like, what? But I have been sworn to secrecy, and I gave my word, so I can't say anything.
So is Bryson James going to walk through that door and tell us he's running the Chili Bowl again?
No, Chili Bowl's over. But he could walk through that door.
I'm sitting here staring at the door because last time you said this, somebody walked through that door.
No, that's not going to happen tonight. I promise. But we do have a lot of things going on here at tonight's show. We've talked about a lot. We're only about halfway through of the subjects that we want to hit on. While we're waiting for our caller to call in, let's jump down to the next subject on there if you want to lead us into it.
Sunset.
Sunset. And
No. Go down here
wait.
to
Shriners.
Yeah, let's talk about the Shriners Hospital. This is a really cool deal.
So April 10th, Corey, we're getting together with Buzz Mitchell, Bryson, bunch of guys. We're getting all together, and we're going to head up to the Shriners Hospital, go visit the kids.
That's going to be awesome.
It really is.
It means so much to those kids.
It
you know.
is.
Oh my gosh.
And Buzz Mitchell, and for those who don't know Buzz, Tangent
Great
Mafia
guy.
Buzz,
Great
he's
guy.
always up in the north end of the VIP boxes with the Tangent Mafia. He is a huge Shriner. He's very much into supporting Shriners Hospital. Him and Pam are very giving people.
Very.
Very.
And we're gonna load up a couple of 15-passenger vans.
You
Yes.
might have to get a bus.
In fact, let me tell you who has already committed to this deal. Now, this is called the Shriners Hospital Victory Visit, okay, for the sick kids that are in the hospital. And Moxie Media actually came up with that name for that, the Victory Visit. I think that's pretty cool.
It is
It
pretty
is.
cool.
It works. So let me tell you who we have a commitment of going up there to talk to the kids It's a pretty good list of drivers. I just got to find. That list here. Bear with me for. Oh, there it was. Right.
Start
here.
over.
Okay, so here are the drivers. This is a partial list so far who have guaranteed yes, I'm going. Justin Evans, Bryson James, Tom Yak, Steve Moore, Tony and Mikey Breakall, Mackenzie Lockhart, Colin Weinbarger, Skylar Weinbarger, John Duty, Justin Duty, Craig Hansen, Jeff Hansen, and Joey Tanner, I'm understanding, is kind of on the fence trying to get a schedule to work. It's a pretty good list of drivers.
That is a very good list.
Now, what's cool for these kids that are that get to meet these drivers, they'll be in their fire suits. So they're going to come in what they wear in the race car, and it'll kind of give more of that racer identity. And I think that'll be a neat thing for the kids.
It really will.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, how often do kids in this day and age get to meet real race car drivers?
Right. Yeah.
And in all honesty, our race car drivers are celebrities in their own right.
Here's our first caller. Caller, go ahead. Hello?
Hello?
Is this Nikki Gamble?
This is.
Nikki,
Hi,
how are
Nikki.
you?
Morning, Nikki. Or afternoon or whatever
Morning?
it is.
You mean good evening?
Yeah, he's...
Good evening.
Joel's in another time zone.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm on Hawaii time.
So
Please, I don't want to start the morning over. I'm good.
you've had one of those days that wasn't much fun, huh?
Yeah, it's tax season. It's time to get all your taxes in today and hurry up and get it done. So
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding
So she's
me.
been up there grinding in the offices for Sunset Speedway and a couple other businesses, right?
yeah, Willamette, Shrams,
Yeah. So
all
you're
of them.
probably sick of doing a little bit of math, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, let's talk about something a little more important than taxes when it comes to the race world. Sunset Speedway is kind of in a bind right now with the annexation. They're trying to annex in some property there by the racetrack that could affect the life of that racetrack. And let's talk about that and how we as a racing community can come up there or help out to save that racetrack.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure some people have probably, a lot of people are on my Facebook or on Sunset's Facebook, and what's going on is that the city of Banks, a lot of places, even Lebanon, everywhere, they have like a urban growth boundary that every 20 years or 30 years they have to extend the city annexation, the city limits, out for further development. And so I think it's like the north side of the farmland surrounding Banks. It's backing up to the pits. That is what's on the docket right now for being annexed into the city. So they had a meeting about that. They have some developers that came in, and I believe it's like a 30 or 40 acre parcel that they're trying to get annexed in. And so they presented it through the city planning or the planning commission first, and all the planning commission went ahead and said they all voted it in, and now the next step is it goes into the commissioners. So that was supposed to have been last night, but the developers had a different conflict for appointments, and so now it's been pushed out to April 11th.
Okay.
What the biggest concern is go ahead.
No, go ahead, because you're addressing what I was going to ask you.
What the biggest concern is that obviously we don't want houses to be built right up against the pits, because we know what's going to happen if you've got, race cars in someone's backyard. It's just a matter of time until they complain so much, and then the city has no further, option other than to shut it down. And so the current zoning proposal is showing an 11-acre industrial buffer that would go from the pit side of the track, going away from the track, going towards Highway 47, I believe. And so then you would have an 11-acre parcel that would be like a buffer, which, to be honest with you, in that little valley where the track kind of sits, it's not really going to matter. You're still going to hear every car that comes into there, but it's just not going to be in somebody's, literally in their backyard.
Right.
And so we are concerned, the Park Association, all the members that are a part of the Big Banks Tractor Pull, and, obviously us, we're concerned that the developers, once it's passed into the annexation, which should be next month, then it'll be about 2 to 3 months until they do a rezoning. And we think at that time they're going to try to rezone that 11-acre industrial buffer into development for homes. And so